the family is continuing to grow. We are at 422 family members. And of course, we got all the videos out, so make sure y'all check them out. Make sure y'all check them out. Okay? All right. Hey y'all, good morning, top of the morning. Cheers to y'all, energy drink. Y'all, this Alani drink, top tier, top tier, top tier. Today is the 11. I have been already in my trade and true journal, day number 11. I've listened to the word. I'm going to be reading the word as well. And then after like the trading day, I'll go ahead and get into my journal and read the prayer for y'all. Okay, so for today's prayer, it says, God, keep me humble in my profits and steady in loss. Surround me with counsel and let pride never lead my trades. Teach me to rely on you more than myself. Amen. Let's get this trading day started. All right, y'all. So I am actually in a trade with gold. I think I'm in 2 positions now. Yes, I'm in 2 positions currently, down about $6, $7. So I'm keeping an eye. Well, not really keeping an eye, but I have my alert set. My stop loss is at 41.81. It's about 30 a position. I'm not risking 30 a position. Possibly, but I don't know. That'll be 60. And that would be taking me right back down to where I started, because we started at a 95 or so. Then the account went down to 66. We took a good dub on Bitcoin, which brought the account to where it is right now, which is at 127 and some change. I think it was 44 cents. And then so now we're working with 2 positions, and yeah, I'm probably not gonna risk too much. Let's go onto the chart and see what this morning is bringing us. It is 8 o'clock right now, so market and movement really doesn't start until around 8:30, and I really hope that is within our move, but I think we are good. But anywho, let's get over to the charts. So this is the trade that I am currently in. This is in the 5 minutes, so don't think this is like the swing high, because it's not. We are looking for that overall swing high here. As y'all can see, this is like the movement that I started to notice. We had this here come down, created a kind of that lower high, this level right here, which was that 121, or I'm sorry, that 42.21 level. Let's just call that estimate. As you see here, y'all, like anything below here is in control by sellers. If I was to extend this line out, anything below here is in control. Got an alert, that's really good. Is in control by sellers, right? So anything below here, sellers. Got pushed down, sellers. But then we got this indication. That's why this line is yellow. That just helps me know that this is the indication line for me. So we got that break above here, right? So now we know anything above here, and we know of that, right? Anywho, this is just most recent. So we got that indication that yes, price does want to continue. It doesn't want to continue this downtrend that it was starting. It doesn't want to continue that. It does want to come back above here and continue this uptrend, right? So we know anything above this 42.21 or so level is in control now by buyers, all the way up until, let's see, we had some pushback around 42.38. So we have sellers sitting here pushing price down. I'm going to turn that red. But we have sellers pushing price down here, right? So we might have some pushback there, here. And then we had overall sellers before this strong push down. We have sellers sitting at this level, which is approximately 42, 47, 84 or so. I can put the levels. 42, 47, 80. Okay, so we have sellers sitting at the 42.38 level, pushing price down, and we also have sellers pushing price down at 42.47. Okay, so again, we broke this level before. So price came up here, got pushed back down, broke above it. So this was kind of like that indication here as well, if you want to say. Created a new high. This is all the correction. All this is correction. So let me do that here. So from here and up was that indication, right? From here, and then this is where it started to consolidate and price starts arguing with each other. No, we're going down. No, we're going up. No, we're going down. All this, right? So all this is the correction, right? Once that fight is over, we had a small indication here at this 42.26. Kind of it pushed back up and saying, hey, after this little mini fight, we do want to continue up. We do want to continue up. So this is kind of like another correction, but this is still like an overall correction, right? All this is like an overall correction, but this is a correction. But overall, I'm just looking for a price to stay above the previous higher low. All these lows are fine, but we didn't get no real drop down here to let me know, like, yeah, sellers are in control. Buyers are still holding up. These blue boxes, these blue zones, these are all buyers sitting here, buyers sitting here, buyers sitting here, holding this price afloat to push it back and continue this trend that we're seeing. So hopefully this is a good overall like gist of how I kind of got into this trade and what I was looking for. But of course, at the end of the trade, we will do a breakdown and see what it's about. But right now, my first target goal is trying to get above this 42.38 level. So I'll keep y'all updated. Yeah, I want to close out of this trade so bad. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, and I'm waiting to see how these next candles close. This next 5 minute because it's almost 10:30. So I'm gonna give it until this next 5 minute candle, and I'll be closing within that probably. All right, here we go. Y'all, I'm about to close. I closed, y'all. Call me a punk. I closed out again. I didn't even let the. Alright, I closed out probably about 60 or so. The target goal was around 43 or so dollars per trade, but I took I think it was like around 36 per, so I'm gonna be okay with that. Was it the full 80? No. Y'all, we doubled the account. We are at $200. We doubled the account. We doubled it. We are at $200 and it's day number 11. So who we gonna give glory to? To the one above. The one above. Alright, y'all. I'll go ahead and do a trade breakdown in a little bit, but I'm about to go do me a good prayer, get into my Trade and Truth journal. If you're wanting to purchase the Trade and Truth journal, you're able to do so. Go to Amazon, click in Trade and Truth, and this will pop up. But yeah, y'all, I'm about to get into this day number 11 and just get all these emotions out because I'm like literally shaking. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and do a trade breakdown on how I got into this gold trade. Kind of want to just start off here, just doing a path. So we came here. This was the overall TP, which was that 42.64. Yeah, 42.64. Okay. Price then got pushed down here, created a lower high, failed to create a lower low, instead created a new high. This high created a higher low, and that's where I stepped in at and started to monitor, right? So then following this blue task, I did see here that price was not passing this level, this 42.22 level. We'll see it when we get into, the lower time frames, but you can just tell that price kind of got stagnant from this new high and the new higher low. So where price wasn't breaking below it, but price wasn't also close and above the 42.22 level. All right, and so then there was an indication made, as we see here, this green dot. Price broke above it, and it even touched above this 42.41 level, which was, again, a level of importance as well, because price basically was just in here. It wasn't going nowhere below this blue line, but it wasn't breaking above any of these levels either. But anywho, back to my move, which is this blue line. So again, price came up, didn't make it. It created right here, and we'll see it in the hour, but this right here is a higher low, right? This higher low then went above this level, creating a new high. It then tapped into this demand zone, which is a 4-hour demand zone here. And from this demand zone, we could have entered, as soon as we tapped in, it tapped in the zone, we could have went to that 5-minute and looked for an entry. Or like me, I waited until price got right above this level here, which we'll see it in the hour, which is this 42.22 level, and that's where I entered for the continuation up. So let me get the, that back. All right, so, and I hope y'all can see kind of with these levels, but let me just clear everything. Hopefully y'all see what's going on, but I'm gonna try to break it down just with this here. So again, we're starting off with this. This is the new high, which then created a higher low. All right, and then I'm gonna go down to this 1 hour. And as you see here, when this new high came down, it created a lower high, this lower high. This is actually a higher low. This higher low created a lower high. This lower high created a lower low. This lower low then created a mini lower high, right? And then this is a lower low, but overall, again, in that 4 hour, this is a higher low. But for the gist of this, just so we can see pattern wise. So that's what this is looking like. From this new high, it made this correction, right? Then, so let's just say we had, let me put my yellow line back. So I know this was the lower high, right? This is where I was talking about, where we know sellers are in control from this level on down. The last time price tried to break up was right here at this candle was the last push up, and that is where price was staying steady at, right? All right, and then I created my zone from this lower low right here. And price came up. So you could have gotten in this trade. I'll show you one entry because there was this lower high and that lower high, right? So if I was to bring it over, price broke a high, came up here, tapped back into the zone, and then continued up, right? So ICC terms, this is the lower high, this is the lower low. This lower high was created from this previous lower low. So these are my boundaries, right? And you can see it definitely in the 5 minute too, but price broke above this lower high, making the indication. So we know that price is going back to basically this lower high. So price came up, made an indication. It corrected itself here, creating a higher low. And by the way, this is here is a new high because it broke above this lower high, created a higher low, and then it continued. Okay, so ICC, again, this is the indication. It broke above a previous lower high. It corrected itself, creating a higher low, and then it continued back towards that level, right? So in this case, again, even with supply and demand, same thing. It's in this trend, so this was the trend at first. Okay, this was the trend at first. Then guess what? If this trend wanted to continue, it should have continued after this. It should have continued creating a new lower low, right? It then pushed back above, breaking a structure, right? This is supply and demand. This is another way I look at things. But supply and demand, this was the trend. It broke above that, created a new high, came back. It has to tap into this zone in order for you to take an entry. As soon as price touches this, you can enter, or you can wait on candle closure, or you can wait on the first candle close outside of it. I forget how it goes, but overall, you could have got an entry anywhere from here and then just going back, swinging back to that, or this would have been an early entry and we're targeting the overall high. So this could have been an entry here. All right. That's entry 1. Entry 2. Same thing. Guess what? We broke past this lower high. This will be an indication. The indication went all the way and stopped here. Right? So this was the breakthrough. This was the last bearish candle. So I'm going to just go there and I'm going to just add that wick. Or did I do 4 hour? I'm trying to think. I think this was a 4 hour one. Hold on. Yep, it was. So I did the 4 hour. I'm like, why is that not it? Because I did 4 hour. So I looked in the 4 hour. I go with 4 hour because it's more accurate. but I just, same thing. This was the last bearish candle right here before price took off. So that is the new demand zone for me. So again, this is what I was looking for my entry. This was the oh my gosh, delete it. All right, so this was the indication for me. Price tapped into this zone, and then my entry was on the way back, entering here to higher. Okay, to, y'all know what I'm talking about, up that way. So I'm gonna zoom in. We go down to like the 15, so y'all can see this, and y'all can see the consolidation as well. All right, so this here. So again, this was where my entry came in at. All right, so price broke all the way above here, creating this indication. It then corrected itself here. It consolidated in this area, but it never broke structure. As you see, this high here is higher than this high. And then this right here, this is, I think, higher than this one. I'll double check, but I think it is. Here and up. Now, again, my entry was, I think I entered one on this candle because I got scared when it started pulling back. But overall, my entry was here. I had two positions. I entered one here on this up candle, and then it pulled back. And then when I seen this give me that verification, I put in another position at this line. So it was from here. Let's go to this 4 hour. All right. To TP. Okay. So this was my position. However, I'm going to go back to that 15. As soon as when price broke above here, I had two opportunities where I could have entered here. I could have entered right here. And so I could have entered as soon as price touched the zone. I could have waited on next candle closure. So either way. But right here, my stop loss would have been at this zone, maybe a little bit below it, wherever your stop loss is, your desire, whatever. But I'll just go here and then again to take profit, right? And this option you could have had not once, but twice. You could have got into this and then still put in another position. So you could have had some time to put in, like, I could have had 3 positions. I could have put in a position here, could have put in another position there, and then another position here. But those are some entries and how I got into this trade. I did not allow price to hit the TP here. I got nervous, y'all. Is that, no, I was supposed to say it's up here. I didn't allow it to hit here. I got nervous, all that goodness, and I clocked out. So some things I'm still learning and developing. So I'm not going to be hard on myself about it. But overall, this was a really good swing. And it looks like price is starting to either push back down or create a new level like it did here before it pushes off again. So hopefully that breakdown answered some questions. So overall, the only thing Literally, this is it. Higher low, higher low, higher high. Okay. New high. So let's just say that's the target goal. I'm then looking on the price. Let's just say this is the supply zone, the last bearish candle. I'm waiting on price to tap it to enter. But another thing that I'm starting to take into mind, but again, hold on, let me finish this. So what I was looking for in this trade was simply this. Price to create a trend. It made a new high. Great. So this would have been considered the indication for supply and demand. This would have been break of structure. Okay. This right here, the tap into the zone is our correction. All that is the correction. And the rule for that is has to tap zone, right? And what I'm using is, if it taps in here, great. I can enter with more confidence that it tapped this zone before entering here. So I would say you're able to enter here. This is an early entry. This is an early entry. Or you can wait on price to then come back to the level where we know sellers have control. I mean, buyers have control in this example. And this would have been the continuation. All right. And so let's just say this would have been here. So we would have then known, and then so we know buyers are pushing price up from this level. We know sellers are pushing price back down at this level. Don't know what these levels are, but just whatever you want to name them. We then have this indication here. Oops. We have this indication here letting us know that price was able to push past a previous seller level, letting us know buyers have control all the way up until wherever sellers are pushing it down again at. So let's just say it's there. So we now know buyers have control all the way until this upcoming level here, which this is our take profit, right? This right here again is the correction. It taps into the supply zone. Great, good. This is a new higher low. Okay, great. You could take an entry here all the way up there, or you can wait here and there, whichever floats your boat. Okay. So hopefully with a real example on how I entered into an actual trade and how it played out, and this is kind of like the structure that I'm referring to and what we're looking for. But I'll probably do another smaller video or just a video just on this to kind of help out with ICC and a little bit of that supply and demand blend. So again, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.